Imagine a world without end, where death is but a distant memory. Would you choose to live forever if you could? This question has fascinated humanity for centuries, and the concept of immortality has often been presented as a tantalizing fantasy, a gift reserved for the gods in the realms of literature and mythology. From the ancient Greeks with their gods on Mount Olympus, to the elves in J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, immortality has been painted with an alluring brush. Yet, as captivating as this idea may be, it's not without its complexities. This brings us to a concept known as the Paradox of Immortality. The Paradox of Immortality is the notion that while living forever might seem like the ultimate dream, it could also be a curse. Think about it. An endless life means witnessing countless sunrise and sunsets, but it also means watching the world around you change, potentially losing loved ones, and even experiencing the potential stagnation of personal growth. After all, if we have all the time in the world, what's the rush to learn, to grow, to change? This paradox presents a fascinating contradiction. On one hand, humans have a natural fear of death and a desire to avoid it. On the other, the prospect of living forever brings its own set of challenges that may overshadow the initial appeal. It's a bit like being offered a delicious cake that you can eat forever, but realizing that, after a while, you might get sick of the taste. So while the idea of immortality can be tempting, it's worth considering the potential drawbacks. It's not just about living forever, but also about the quality of life and the experiences that make life worth living. But before we jump headfirst into the fountain of youth, let's consider the implications of an eternal life. Because as we will explore further, immortality might not be as glamorous as it first appears when the reality of forever sets in. An immortal life, free from the constraints of time, may seem like the ultimate freedom at first glance. Imagine the sheer possibility of it. An infinity to learn, to grow, to experience, to achieve. Today's unattainable dreams become tomorrow's achievements. The world's knowledge at your fingertips, not limited by the ticking clock. You could master every language, every skill, every art. The potential to become a Renaissance person, a polymath of the 21st century, is no longer a fleeting dream, but a tangible reality. Think about the richness of experience that an immortal life provides. You could witness the ebb and flow of civilizations, see the rise and fall of empires. You could watch the world's greatest cities grow from humble beginnings, see technology evolve from the wheel to the spaceship. Imagine being there when humanity takes its first step on an alien planet, or when we finally unlock the secrets of the universe. And then, there's the accumulation of wisdom, the kind that only comes with time. The ability to learn from centuries of successes and failures, of love and loss. With immortality, you could become a wellspring of knowledge, a living archive of humanity's triumphs and disasters. Your perspective would be unique, shaped by the countless lifetimes you've lived. But beyond all this, there's the allure of witnessing history unfold. To see the narrative of the human race evolve, to be a part of its twists and turns. Imagine watching great leaders rise, revolutions spark, and ideologies shift. You'd be there to see the progress, the setbacks, and everything in between, a silent observer in the grand theater of human history. Immortality offers a tantalizing promise of endless possibilities, of a life unbound by the fear of an impending end. It's a fascinating concept, a dream that has captured the human imagination since time immemorial. However, immortality may not be the panacea we imagine it to be. In contrast, a mortal life, bound by the ticking clock, carries with it a sense of urgency and preciousness. Now let's delve into the beauty of transience, the fleeting nature of our existence that makes each moment invaluable. There's a certain grace in the impermanence of life. Like the cherry blossoms that bloom for a mere few days, our lives are beautiful because they are ephemeral. The Japanese term for this is mono no aware, a sensitivity towards the transience of things, and an understanding that this fleeting nature is what makes life beautiful. Now, imagine a book with endless pages. No matter how gripping the story, the endlessness would eventually lead to disinterest. The same applies to life. The fact that it has an ending gives it a narrative, a structure. It's the ticking clock that adds suspense, anticipation, and excitement to life. This sense of mortality also fuels our motivation. The realization that our time is limited pushes us to make the most of it. It prompts us to set goals, chase dreams, and create memories. It's the reason we strive to leave a legacy, to make a mark that remains long after we're gone. Moreover, it's the finite nature of life that makes us value it so much. Think about it. If life were infinite, would we appreciate the laughter, the love, the triumphs, and even the hardships as much as we do? Would we savor the first sip of morning coffee or the warmth of a loved one's hug if we knew they could last forever? It's the possibility of an end that makes us treasure these moments, these experiences. So while immortality might seem like a desirable concept, mortality has its own unique charm. It's the finality, the ephemerity, the transience that adds a certain sweetness to life's fleeting moments. It's the ticking clock that reminds us to relish every second, every minute, every day. The finality of death adds a certain sweetness to life's fleeting moments. While the prospect of endless life may be tantalizing, let's not forget about the darker side of immortality. Imagine watching the sun rise and set, not for a few decades or even a century, but for millennia. Imagine seeing civilizations rise and fall, witnessing the birth and death of stars, outliving everything you've ever known, everything that's familiar. This is the reality of immortality. One of the most heart-wrenching aspects of immortality would be seeing your loved ones perish. The endless cycle of meeting, growing close, and then inevitably losing people could be a source of profound sorrow. It's a sorrow that would only deepen with each passing century, a burden that could become unbearable over time. Beyond the emotional toll of such losses, there's also the potential for profound loneliness. With each passing era, the world would change, and with it, the people. As an immortal, you'd be a constant in a world of variables, a living relic from a time long past. The cultural gap between you and the rest of humanity could become a chasm, leaving you feeling isolated and disconnected. And then there's the potential for boredom. With unlimited time, you could master every skill, explore every corner of the earth, read every book ever written. But what happens when you've done it all? When every day starts to feel like a repetition of the one before, when novelty and excitement give way to monotony, life could become a tedious, unending loop. Lastly, consider the concept of life's value being tied to its impermanence. We cherish moments because they're fleeting. We value life because it's brief. If we had all the time in the world, would we still appreciate the beauty of a sunset, the joy of a shared laugh, the thrill of a new experience? As such, immortality may be more of a curse than a blessing. So, would you choose to live forever if you could? We've explored the paradox of immortality, the life of the eternal being, the mortal existence, and the potential downsides of living forever. We've delved into the heart of the matter, examining the dynamics of life and death, and the eternal question of what it means to be immortal. We've seen the allure of immortality, an endless amount of time to learn, explore, and experience all that life has to offer. A chance to witness the unfolding of history, the rise and fall of civilizations, and the evolution of humanity. We've also imagined the beauty of living in the moment, appreciating the here and now, with the knowledge that our time is finite. But we've also confronted the potential pitfalls of eternal life, the loneliness that might come with outliving everyone you know and love, the potential for boredom and ennui as centuries turn into millennia, the existential dread of a life without end, without the natural cycle of birth, growth, decay, and death. And what about the mortal life? The beauty of a sunrise, the joy of a shared laugh, the pain of a heartbreak, the wisdom that comes with age. All these experiences are given depth and meaning because they are temporary, because we know that our time to experience them is limited. The mortal life, with all its ups and downs, its joys and sorrows, is a rich tapestry of experiences that shape us, define us, and ultimately make us human. In the grand scheme of things, the question of immortality is not just about living forever. It's about the quality of life we lead, the relationships we build, the experiences we cherish, and the legacy we leave behind. It's about understanding the value of our time, whether it's infinite or finite. In the end, whether we yearn for immortality or embrace our mortality, the value of life lies in how we choose to live it.